All right, Shalom. I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to you, sincere Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity across the four winds. I'm just going to touch on this real quick, briefly, about working out our own salvation and why, for the new believers, even for those who've been in this truth for a while, that it's important that we understand, why we're doing what we're doing, and to it further gives us that foundation to proceed in this truth. Okay. Now, let's start with Philippians 2:12. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." Right? Because being in Babylon the Great, okay, we know that's that's more geared towards the flesh. All right, Babylon the Great doesn't promote a whole lot of spirituality and reverence to the Most High Yahweh Shah. Okay, it promotes the exact opposite. Whether it's the LGBT, the gay agenda, all right, the gay pride, whether it's the women usurping the man, okay, abominable foods, all right, these wicked, what they call holidays, okay, and many other things, all right. But being in this truth, though, man, being called out of this world, all right, it requires a level of fear. Okay. Now, we're working out our salvation, meaning we are not saved yet. All right. It's just the beginning to be called into this truth and to receive the names of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Okay. It's just the beginning. All right. So I'll read this again, and then, Lord willing, I'll get another precept to further explain it. It says, "But now, much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." Okay. And some of you may say, why? Okay. Well, what does that mean? Okay. But the scriptures actually tell us why we need to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. Okay. Because this world was designed to be like a proving ground. Okay. Once sin entered into the world, okay, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua changed the game up. Okay, changed things up on us. Okay, and it wasn't going to be, we weren't just going to be entitled to that everlasting joyful, beautiful life, everlasting life, man. No, we're gonna have to go through some things now to get it. Okay. And and then our salvation is the ticket to that. All right. And the ticket to our salvation is Yahweh Shah, but through our fear and trembling. Okay. But without further ado, I'll grab this precept here. It will be 2nd Esdras. All right. 2nd Esdras, chapter 7. And I'll start at verse 4. "This is why we are to work out our salvation with fear and trembling." Okay. Again, if you're a believer, if you're in this truth, you're still trying to figure things out, hopefully this helps give you a better understanding. All right. It says, but put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. 5. who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Okay, this is talking about those going working out their salvation. Okay, those of us working out our salvation, who've been called to into this truth to work out our salvation, man, to ultimately make it to the kingdom. Okay, it says, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it, if he went not through the narrow? Okay, the narrow path. Okay, narrow path being in this world. All right, to the narrow path leading to the kingdom, the everlasting kingdom. All right, kingdom of heaven. It says, if he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? All right, the broad being the kingdom. Okay. Verse 6, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field. That city being the kingdom also. Okay, the city is representing the everlasting kingdom under the reign of Yahweh Yahushua. All right, the everlasting kingdom. Right now we're in the kingdom of Esau. Okay, and his rulership and his dominion that was given to him. Okay, for his appointed time. So it's not talking about that. This is not talking about this current kingdom we're in. It's talking about the kingdom to come. Verse 7, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place. Okay. The entrance is set in, it says the entrance therefore thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. Right. Okay, so that path is so narrow, man, that it is you can't make it on your own. Okay, that's part of working out your salvation with fear and trembling. Right, we know the beginning of wisdom is fearing the Most High. Okay, so part of our working out our salvation is fearing the Most High. Okay. And through obedience and through a reverence, okay, and faith, okay, that's just part of working out our salvation here. All right, it says, and it's set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. Verse 8, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water. So there's one path to get to the kingdom of heaven. All right. So small that there could but one man go there at once. Right. That's why we got to work out our salvation, our own salvation, with fear and trembling. Okay. Because only one man can go down this path at a time. Okay. You can't say I'm going to take this person with me. Okay, you can't say I'm gonna follow this person. This person, for instance, this person does great videos. This person is a good speaker, a great orator. This person is good in the Hebrew. This person is full of wisdom or understanding. You can't try to walk this path with someone else's talents. Or on someone else's coattail. Okay, you as an individual in this truth, you have to walk this path. You have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, because only one person can go down this path at a time. So whoever that other person is, the other brother that's in this truth, that brother has to walk the path. Okay, and you have to walk the path separately also. Okay, one by one. Single file. Okay. So even between the fire and water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, okay, that's working out our salvation, man. Okay, because we have to what? We have to we have to pass through the dangers, okay? Before we get to the broad way, before we get to the kingdom, we have to pass these dangers. What are the dangers? The snares and traps here in Babylon the Great, okay? The snares of the devil, man, all right? The wiles of the devil, okay? The sorcery, the witchcraft, the um, you know, the all the booby traps, man. Okay, the spiritual booby traps that is set for us, man, not to make it. Okay, those are the dangers set before it. Okay, the scripture say as if it was fire on one side and deep water on the other side. Okay, that means there's no turning left or right, man. This path you gotta go straight through. Okay, there's no other way around without you being destroyed. All right. And the fire on one side and the water, deep water on the other side, represents destruction, man. Okay, that's why this path is the straight path. You walk the straight path, man. You're not gonna be destroyed. But if you go off this straight path, you're gonna be destroyed. All right. Though the fire and water represent destruction, man, meaning there's no other way to get to the kingdom. All right. It says, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, right? Israel's portion is to walk the straight gate to get where? To get to the kingdom. The kingdom is for Israel, man. It's for the nation of Israel to rule. Why? Because we were the chosen nation, man. We were chosen people from the Heavenly Father from the very beginning. Okay? But this time around, there's a remnant. There's an elect of the elect. Israel, the nation of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they are the elect, but of that number is 144,000 who are going to rule in in the government of the kingdom of heaven. Okay, who are going to rule with Yahweh Shai. All right, and be that ruling government to teach the rest of Israel. Okay, and to teach the heathen nations the ways of the Heavenly Father Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai. All right, so it's all order to this, man. But my point is, that's why we have to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, man. It's telling us why, because only one person can go down this narrow path at a time. Okay, and there's many dangers set before us, man. Everybody's not guaranteed to make it. The scriptures say many are called, few are chosen. Okay, everybody doesn't make the cut. All right, and none of us know whether we're the elect or not. Okay, verse 11. Because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Okay, this is when the Heavenly Father switched up things. All right, verse 12. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. It says they are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. All right. Verse 13, for the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. Here we go, verse 14. It says, if then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. All right. So yeah, working out our salvation, man, is dealing with dealing with the hell on this side. Okay, dealing with the temptations, man, dealing with the lust, dealing with our flesh. Okay, dealing with our flesh, overcoming our flesh, overcoming these trials and tribulations, man. That struggle, that battle. Okay. scriptures say we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. All right, spiritual wickedness in high places, man. This the battle we in, man. This is what we battle with every day on this side. Okay, and this is our constant battle as we walk down this narrow path. All right. So yes, we are working out our salvation. That is working out your salvation. But let me jump down, Salaki, to verse 17. It says, "Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things. Salaki, but that the ungodly should perish." Right? Okay, so the ungodly is not fit to make it down this narrow path, man. Okay, why? Because there's a 2/3, there's a remnant. All right, there's a remnant that's destined not to make it. All right, pursuant to 2nd Ezra 9 and 9 verse 9 and 10, Zechariah 13 and 9. All right, there's already 2/3 of the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are selected to be destroyed, man. Okay. Verse 18, "Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, and hope for why." Okay. This is the point. Here we go, brothers. All right. It said, "Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things." Why does it say the righteous shall suffer straight things? Because the righteous is on that narrow path, that straight path. Okay. When it says the righteous shall suffer straight things, that's talking about all the nonsense, all the BS, all the wickedness, man, all the vexations, all the abominations, man. Okay. We gotta suffer all that, all our personal trials. Okay, being persecuted for this word. Okay, being attacked in the spirit, man, constantly. We gotta suffer these things. This is part of walking the straight road, the straight path. Okay, that's why it says the righteous shall suffer straight things, because all these things come with being on the straight path. Okay, if you're receiving it, all right, if you have ears to hear, "and hope for wide, for they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things." Wait, it's locked. Let me go back. It says, "Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide." Okay, so to working out our salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, as individual. Okay, working out our own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, we're setting ourselves up to suffer through these straight things. Okay, to endure, to overcome them. All right, and at the end, receive the kingdom. Okay, that's why it says, "Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for the wide." Eventually, we will receive the wide. We will receive the kingdom, because the kingdom is in the broad field. If you read back up further, a couple of verses up, okay, the place set in the broad field. All right, that's talking about the kingdom. So if we suffer and we work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, we get through the bullshit. Okay, then we can hope for the kingdom. But it goes on and says, "For they that have done wickedly," the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, because the heathens are not promised any inheritance to the kingdom, man. Okay, it says, "For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things." Okay, that means they're going through the BS and the nonsense too. It says, "But and yet shall not see the wide." That means they ain't even gonna make it to. They ain't gonna see the kingdom. They're gonna be destroyed all on this side, man. Okay, and they're gonna be in their right mind in the kingdom. All right, you don't want to be in that batch. You want to be in the batch that endures now and hope to see the kingdom. All right. Once we walk in this narrow path now, but once it gets broader and broader, then we're gonna see the kingdom. All right, we'll be there. So just endure, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, because it's for a reason. All right, hopefully y'all can edify and give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to you, sincere Akim, pushing his word in truth and sincerity. All right, let us remain faithful and endure to the end. Shalom.